Easy English Life Podcast.
Real English, real life. Have you ever studied English for weeks, maybe even months, and then thought, wait, why am I still making the same mistakes?
Oh yes, that feeling is very real. You learn 10 new words, feel proud, and then the next day your brain says, sorry, we are closed today.
Exactly. Or you practice speaking and you feel a little more confident. Then suddenly, in a real conversation, you forget a simple word like umbrella.
And then you say something like, the rain hat, but for your whole body.
Honestly, that is creative English.
Thank you. Not correct English, maybe, but creative English.
Today we are talking about something every learner experiences, learning to be okay with slow progress.
This is such an important topic. Because many people think progress should feel fast and exciting every day.
But real progress often feels quiet. Sometimes it feels slow. Sometimes it feels like nothing is changing, even when you are actually improving.
Welcome back to Easy English Life Podcast. I'm Leo.
And I'm Maya. Today's episode is a B1 level conversation, so the English will be clear, natural, and easy to follow.
Our topic today is learning to be okay with slow progress.
We will talk about why slow progress is normal, how to notice small improvements, and how to stay kind to yourself while learning.
And of course, we'll learn useful English words and phrases you can use in daily life.
Let's begin with the main problem. Many learners feel frustrated because they compare their progress to other people.
Yes, you see someone online speaking English so smoothly, and you think, why can't I speak like that?
But you do not see their full story. Maybe they studied for 10 years. Maybe they practiced every day. Maybe they made many mistakes before they became confident.
That is true. We often see the result, but not the effort behind it.
A useful phrase here is behind the scenes. It means the part you do not see.
So when I watch a fluent English speaker, I only see the final result. I don't see what happened behind the scenes.
Exactly. Behind the scenes, there may be years of practice, mistakes, nervous conversations, and quiet study time.
That makes me feel better, because sometimes I think everyone else is moving fast, and I'm just walking slowly with a dictionary.
But walking slowly is still moving.
That sounds simple, but it helps.
Our first main point is this: slow progress is still progress.
I like that. It sounds like something I need to put on my wall.
When you learn a language, progress does not always feel big. Maybe today you understand one sentence faster than before. Maybe you remember one word without checking your notes. Maybe you speak for 5 seconds longer than last week.
Small wins.
Yes, exactly. Small wins means small successes. They may not look huge, but they matter.
Can you give an example?
Sure. Let's say last month you listened to an English podcast and understood only 40%. This month, you understand 50%. That is progress.
Even if I still don't understand everything?
Yes, you do not need perfect understanding to be improving.
That's important. Sometimes I think if I don't understand 100%, I've failed.
Many learners feel that way, but language learning is not a test every day. It is a process.
So instead of saying, I'm bad at English, I can say, I'm in the process of improving.
Beautiful. That is a much healthier sentence.
And more natural than crying into my grammar book.
Much more natural.
Our next phrase is little by little, right?
Yes. Little by little means slowly, in small steps. For example, I am improving little by little.
That is a useful sentence. I can say, my speaking is getting better, little by little.
Exactly. And you can use it for many parts of life. I am saving money little by little. I am building a new habit little by little.
Or, I am cleaning my room little by little. Very slowly. Maybe too slowly.
Still progress, Leo.
Thank you for supporting my messy room journey.
The second main point is you need to notice what is better, not only what is missing.
That is hard. My brain loves to look at what is missing.
Many brains do. You may finish a conversation in English and think, I made 3 mistakes. But maybe you also answered 5 questions, used new vocabulary, and understood the other person.
So my brain is like a strict teacher with a red pen.
Sometimes, yes. But you can train your brain to look for progress, too.
How?
After studying, ask yourself one simple question. What is one thing I did better today?
Only one thing?
Yes, keep it simple. Maybe you listened for 10 minutes. Maybe you spoke even though you felt nervous. Maybe you remembered one phrase from last week.
That feels more realistic.
A useful phrase here is give yourself credit. It means to recognize that you did something good.
So if I studied after a long day, I should give myself credit.
Yes, you showed up. That matters.
Show up is another good phrase.
It is. Show up can mean to arrive somewhere, but it can also mean to make an effort and do the work.
For example, I showed up for my English practice today.
Perfect. You may not study for 2 hours. Maybe you study for 15 minutes, but you showed up.
I like that. It makes learning feel less scary.
The third main point is slow progress helps you build strong skills.
Wait, how can slow be good?
When you learn slowly and regularly, the knowledge becomes stronger. You do not just memorize for one day. You slowly build a foundation.
A foundation is like the base of a house, right?
Exactly. The foundation is the strong bottom part that supports everything above it. In learning, your foundation includes basic grammar, useful words, pronunciation, and listening skills.
So if my foundation is weak, the house is not safe.
Right. If you rush too much, you may know many words, but you cannot use them well. Slow practice gives your brain time to understand and remember.
That makes sense. Like cooking soup. If you rush it, maybe it tastes okay, but if you give it time, it gets better.
That is a surprisingly good example.
Thank you. I am hungry, but also educational.
A useful phrase here is build up. It means to increase or develop slowly over time.
So I can say, I am building up my vocabulary.
Yes. Or, I'm building up my confidence in speaking.
Confidence is a big one. I think confidence grows slowly, too.
It does. Confidence is not something you suddenly get one morning. It grows when you practice, make mistakes, survive the mistakes, and try again.
Survive the mistakes. I like that.
And most mistakes are not dangerous. They are just information.
That is a great way to think about mistakes. A mistake is information.
Exactly. If you say something wrong, you learn what to change next time.
Like if I say, I very like English. Someone may correct me and say, I really like English.
Yes, and then next time you can use the natural phrase.
Mistake becomes lesson.
Exactly.
What is the fourth point?
The fourth point is, your progress may be hidden.
Hidden progress? Like secret progress?
Yes, in a way. Sometimes you do not feel improvement because it is happening inside your brain. You are recognizing sounds faster. You are understanding sentence patterns. You are becoming more comfortable.
But it does not feel dramatic.
Right. For example, maybe 6 months ago, English sounds felt like one long noise. Now you can hear separate words more clearly.
That is true. At first, English can sound like blah, 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 blah. Then later it becomes, oh, I know that word.
That is hidden progress becoming visible.
Visible means something you can see, right?
Yes, and in this case, it means progress you can finally notice.
So maybe my brain is working even when I don't feel amazing.
Yes, that is why you need patience.
Patience, the most difficult English skill.
Maybe the most difficult life skill.
True.
A useful phrase here is pay off. It means your effort brings a good result later.
For example, my daily listening practice is starting to pay off.
Excellent. It means you are beginning to see the good results of your practice.
Can I say, my hard work will pay off?
Yes, that is very natural.
I like that phrase. It gives me hope, but not in a fake way.
Exactly. It is practical hope. You still need to practice, but the practice can bring results.
So slow progress is not wasted time.
Not at all. Slow progress is often deep progress.
Deep progress. That sounds wise.
The fifth point is create a system, not just a goal.
Okay, what is the difference?
A goal is what you want. For example, I want to speak English confidently. A system is what you do regularly to move toward the goal.
So a system could be, I listen to English for 10 minutes every morning.
Yes, or I write 3 sentences in English every night. Or I practice shadowing with 1 podcast episode 3 times a week.
That feels more useful than just saying, I want to be fluent.
Exactly. Big goals can feel far away. Small systems give you something to do today.
A useful phrase here is, keep going.
Yes. Keep going means continue, even when it is not easy or fast.
For example, I feel slow, but I will keep going.
Perfect. That sentence is simple but powerful.
Sometimes the hardest part is not learning grammar. It is continuing when you feel bored or disappointed.
That is very true. Motivation comes and goes, but a simple system can help you continue.
Comes and goes means it is not always there, right?
Exactly. Some days you feel motivated, some days you do not. That is normal.
So I should not wait until I feel motivated?
No. You can make practice small enough that you can do it even on a normal, tired day.
Like 5 minutes?
Yes, 5 focused minutes are better than 0 minutes.
That is good news for tired people everywhere.
Now let's move to our natural English upgrade.
I love this section. It makes my English sound less like a textbook and more like a real person.
Exactly. I'll give a basic sentence, then a more natural sentence. Basic English. My English is improving slowly. More natural English. My English is getting better little by little.
That sounds much better because little by little feels gentle and natural. It shows slow progress in a positive way.
Basic English. I did something good today. More natural English. I should give myself credit for today.
That sounds more natural because it means I recognize my effort, not just the result.
Basic English. I practiced today. More natural English. I showed up for my practice today.
That sounds stronger because showed up means I made the effort, even if it was not perfect.
Basic English. My practice is helping me. More natural English. My practice is starting to pay off.
That sounds natural because it means the effort is beginning to bring results.
Basic English. I am learning more words. More natural English. I am building up my vocabulary.
That sounds better because building up shows that vocabulary grows slowly over time.
Basic English. I will continue. More natural English. I'll keep going.
That sounds simple, natural, and encouraging. It is something people really say.
Great. Now let's do our word tour, our vocabulary review.
This is where we collect the most useful words and phrases from today's episode.
Number 1. Slow progress. Slow progress means improvement that happens gradually, not quickly.
Example 1. Slow progress is still progress.
Example 2. I used to feel bad about slow progress, but now I understand it is normal.
Number 2. Little by little. It means slowly, in small steps.
Example 1. My listening is getting better, little by little.
Example 2. She is becoming more confident little by little.
Number 3. Small wins. Small wins are small successes that help you feel encouraged.
Example 1. Understanding one full sentence was a small win for me.
Example 2. Write down your small wins after each study session.
Number 4. Give yourself credit. This means to recognize your effort or success.
Example 1. You studied after work, so give yourself credit.
Example 2. I should give myself credit for speaking English, even though I was nervous.
Number 5. Show up. In this episode, it means to make an effort and do the practice.
Example 1. I showed up for my English practice today.
Example 2. Even on busy days, she shows up and studies for 10 minutes.
Number 6. Build up. This means to develop or increase slowly.
Example 1. I am building up my vocabulary with daily reading.
Example 2. He is building up his confidence by speaking a little every day.
Number 7. Pay off. This means your effort brings a good result later.
Example 1. My listening practice is starting to pay off.
Example 2. If you keep practicing, your hard work will pay off.
Number 8. Keep going. This means continue, even when something feels difficult or slow.
Example 1. I feel tired, but I will keep going.
Example 2. Don't stop now. Keep going, little by little.
Now it's time for a mini practice challenge.
Nice. What should our listeners do today?
My English is getting better, little by little.
I will give myself credit for showing up.
I feel slow, but I will keep going.
Say them slowly. Then say them again with more confidence.
And if you want a writing challenge, write 2 sentences. First, write 1 small win from this week. Second, write 1 small action you can do tomorrow.
For example, my small win is that I listened to English for 10 minutes. And tomorrow I will review 5 useful phrases.
That is perfect. Small, clear, and realistic.
Before we finish, let's remember the main message of today's episode.
Slow progress is not failure. It is part of learning. You may not notice every change immediately, but your effort is building something important.
Your vocabulary is building up. Your listening is getting stronger. Your confidence is growing little by little.
So give yourself credit. Notice your small wins. Create a simple system. And keep going.
And please remember, even if today's English practice feels small, it still counts.
If you enjoyed this episode, you can like, subscribe, or leave a comment with one small win from your English learning this week.
We would love to hear it.
Thank you for listening to Easy English Life Podcast.
Keep going, little by little.
See you in the next episode.
Bye for now.